Hello, mystic friends. Welcome to the field beyond. You can call me B, and this is my first YouTube video. I will do primarily tarot readings, but I will get into some other things in the future. You'll see me jingle my little gnome bell sometimes to clear the energy, or my other bell. I'll also use my throat chakra singing bowl to clear the energy before or anytime during the reading I feel necessary. But basically, I'm just going to get right into it. Since it's still Cancer season, I'm going to do a reading for Cancer signs. And what I want to do is what in the past is keeping you stuck. Okay, Cancer signs. So, with that, I'm just going to go ahead and get started. Okay, so Cancer signs. What in the past is keeping you stuck? Oops. Ding ding. What in the past is keeping you stuck, Cancer signs? Okay, Spirit, what in the past is keeping you stuck? Okay, a few here. Okay, so we have the Devil, the Two of Pentacles, and the Knight of Cups. So what I'm seeing so far is there's some negative thought patterns. For some of you, may even be addictions or fears. Mental illness even sometimes. Balancing the shadow. This is your shadow, Cancers. Balancing your shadow with moving towards some kind of emotional fulfillment. Could be love, could be something else that brings you fulfillment. So, in the perspective of what in the past is keeping you stuck, your shadow is keeping you from moving forward. Well, let's ask, what about the shadow? What about your shadow? What about these negative thought patterns is keeping you stuck? I mean, the Devil card itself is a card of being stuck, as in bondage. You're chained, right? Let's ask about the Devil card. Spirit, what is Tell me more about the devil. Oh, got another jingle there from my bird charm. Oh, that fell out. Set that over here. That's going to have to move over here, I think. So this popped out. The King of Pentacles popped out. We'll see how that plays out. For the devil card. The Hermit. Isolating, keeping to yourself. Too much inward reflection can come out as your shadow, right? If you're too much in your head, overthinking, too much self-reflection, too much inward, too much isolation. Oops. Keeping to yourself. Or perhaps the other person. No, this is you. This is you. You're the devil is your shadow. That's what I'm getting. I'm not getting that it's somebody else's shadow. This is your shadow. And you're isolating, keeping to yourself too much. Where the King of Pentacles could come in is kind of just soaking in your own abundance. A shadow related to isolation and luxury. Maybe kind of wanting to chill by yourself. Alright, I'll set that over there. Let's get one more to go with the devil and the hermit. Excuse me. Let's get one more to go with the devil and the hermit here. Page of Wands. Page of Wands. This could be a child, but as a shadow, to go with your shadow and the hermit, too much isolation, keeping to yourself, stuck in your own head type of thing. This is a beginning of a creation, or what you want to do, developing, taking action. Yeah, I mean, and they see that he's got his staff, the stave on here is the inaction, right? Isolation, keeping to yourself. This is the action that was supposed to be taken. Okay. Well, let's see where the Knight of Cups comes in here. This is where you were needing to move forward in love, or needing to move towards somebody, profess your love to somebody, move forward with something else that gives you emotional fulfillment. But this is the action card, right? Knights are action. Action in love. Action in fulfillment. I feel like this is just more about inaction versus action. But the inaction on the part of yourself, purposely, intentionally not taking action. This is yourself isolating. I mean, for some of you, this could be maybe you're just, I don't know, no, it's the devil, the shadow. It's the shadow. It's part of the shadow. So I gotta keep reminding myself to look through the lens of the shadow here. Alright, back to the Knight of Cups. What is... Tell me more about the Knight of Cups, Spirit, for Cancer signs. What in the past is keeping Cancer signs stuck? What is the Knight of Cups? Get two here. Both Pentacles. Knight of Pentacles is, or I'm sorry, Knight of Cups with the Six of Pentacles and the Queen of Pentacles. So this is either helping somebody out, needing help yourself. There's a give and take here. Where you were supposed to take care of somebody or something. The Queen of Pentacles could be the person that you were to move towards. Take action with. I feel like this is about you were supposed to make a move, give something to the Queen of Pentacles. The Queen of Pentacles could be your energy yourself. This could be you as their nurturer. Okay. So, let's recap here. You have the devil, your shadow, isolation, inaction. This ebb and flow between the inaction and isolation and the action towards somebody else. Or something else. It could be something else. It's keeping you stuck. So where you would need to become unstuck maybe taking action towards this person. something in the past kept you from making a move. And it seems like it's self-created. And maybe this weighs heavy on your mind, and that's why you're stuck. You feel like you should have taken action. You should have given. You should have nurtured someone or something. You should have moved ahead with something or someone. And it didn't happen. And this is what's keeping you stuck. Well, we're going to go ahead and pull a couple of symbol cards, I think, to go with this part, and then we will answer what can you do to heal so that you can move on, or that so you can let go and release this thing that's keeping you stuck, right? Okay. So let's get a symbol card for I feel like whoever this is values their alone time, values their peace. Or maybe they just went through a period of time. Maybe you went through a period of time where you needed to self-isolate, but maybe it must have become a problem. Transformation. Okay. So this is maybe you coming out of your shell from this isolation and needing to come into action. Transformation. I just want to note that it's kind of funny, I'm actually wearing a butterfly ring right now too. What a coincidence, huh? Let's see here. I'm going to do one more symbol card to clarify in what way. I mean, it could just be this could be a need for transformation. Karmic path. So yeah, this was going to happen. Karmic path. This was the path that had to be taken in order for things to unfold the way that they did. And your transformation I feel like the transformation relies on this karmic path, right? How do we transform unless we learn from our mistakes? All right, so let's go with we'll go ahead and answer the question, what do Cancer signs need to do to heal? What can they do to heal so that they can let this go? Because remember, this is what's keeping you stuck. we may need to revisit the past again here, but let's get started on this. What can Cancer signs do to heal and let go? I feel like I'm just getting a little ping here. I feel like also the thing that you needed to move towards or find balance between isolation and giving, and this could be a nurturing something. It doesn't have to be a person. Maybe you weren't putting enough into like something that you love to do or create, something that would give you fulfillment, but maybe you were just stuck in this isolation and non-action phase where you kind of have this regret where, I wish I would have done this, and it's weighing heavily on your mind, and that's what's keeping you stuck. Okay. So what can Cancer signs do to heal and let go and move on? Okay, Four of Swords. Let's take a couple more right off the top here. Alright, that makes sense. Okay, so we have Four of Swords, rest, meditation, taking a break, mental rest, right? Mental rest. You've already done enough of the isolation, right? You don't want to isolate. That's not the point. Seven of Cups. Distractions, confusion, being pulled in a bunch of different directions, not knowing what to prioritize. And then the Nine of Cups. Self-satisfaction, contentment. So what can you do to heal? You can rest your mind. You need to eliminate distractions. Maybe it's these distractions is what kept you from moving forward with what you desire. I feel like you didn't know that you needed to prioritize this thing and nurture it with the Queen of Pentacles. It's an energy exchange, right? In order to get what you want, there's a give and take. So let's go ahead and do I don't know that I really need to pull too much more on that in that way. I mean, as far as clarification. The Nine of Cups, that's you feeling better, right? This is you getting to where you want to be. But first you have to rest and eliminate these distractions, these confusing energies. It could just be, when you're staying at home and isolating, half the time a lot of people would rather just stay in and watch shows, binge watch shows, or YouTube all day. Too many distractions. It doesn't have to be screens and online, right? But it could be whatever is in your environment that is pulling you. And it seems like it was pulling you away from what you really wanted, what you should have put energy into. So let's go ahead and get a symbol card here for the healing process. Hi, Kitty. Cancer signs healing process, Spirit. Soulmate. So maybe this may, after all, be pertaining to a certain individual. That it doesn't have to be a lover or a partner in life. This could be your best friend or another kindred spirit that you wished you had strengthened your bond with or your relationship with, or there's something that you wanted to do with this person, right? So for healing, healing may involve, this could be self-love too. Love yourself first, and then you can love others, or whoever this is. For some, this is some other form of desire, love. But to me, I feel like there was a relationship that needed to be, and a bond that needs to be worked on. Best friend, sibling, lover, a kindred spirit whom you'd like to get to know better, any or all of the above. And I think once you get the rest that you need and eliminate those distractions, it'll become very clear what you need to do as far as let's see. Let's take a look at excuse me. Let's take a look at what kind of action. I feel like in general is probably more like whatever you need to do to strengthen your bond with somebody or nurture a relationship, nurture your desires, whatever is going to bring you emotional fulfillment. For some, it may just be very apparent what you need to do, whether that's spending more time with somebody, leaving your home, being willing to go out and do stuff, and taking the action towards spending time with somebody, doing something with somebody. Quality time. That could just be all it is quality time with somebody, right? Let's see if there's any other specificities we can get, or what kind of action you would need to take. Let's see. What kind of action So we know this is how we're going to heal and let go. But as far as strengthening that bond, working on that relationship, nurturing that thing or person, what is the advice? What is the right action towards that person or thing, right? Action. What is the advice for Cancer signs? Oh, something almost popped out there. We got the moon here. So maybe, okay. Maybe you were afraid of the unknowns. You didn't know what was going to happen. You didn't know how something was going to plan out or play out if you did take action towards something or somebody. There's always that fear. What is going to happen? What am I missing? And this unknown factor is what drove you to isolate. You would rather sitting alone is safer than, right? We're playing it safe. We were playing it safe. So to me, the advice is just to calm your fears. Calm your fears. There's always going to be some kind of unknown, right? Let's do an oracle card to go with the moon for advice here. Angels and Ancestors Oracle. What's the advice here with the moon spirit? It's just calming the fears of the unknown. And also, if you want to look at the Devil card, sometimes fear itself is your shadow. Fearing is what keeps us stuck sometimes, right? We can't move forward if we're frozen in fear. The devil would just love us to be fearful all the time. Talk about bondage. What a crazy thing to keep us chained up is by our own fears. Oracle card to go with the moon spirit. Nice. Dream and journey. Yeah. Yep, that makes perfect sense. Dream and journey. Don't be afraid. You need to move forward with dream and journey. Think about what you want to do. Go out there and do it. You want to move forward towards the person. You want to profess your love. You want to work on a relationship instead of being afraid of afraid of getting hurt. Everybody's afraid of getting hurt. But the journey and the possible outcomes are worth it. What if things do work out? What if you do strengthen your relationship and you become closer than ever? What if you do work on that thing that you've always wanted to do and you didn't fail? You succeeded, right? So that's the advice. Don't fear the unknown. Dream and journey. Okay? And this is how you let go and move on. Okay, well, I think I'm going to wrap it up there. I hope it was helpful. I hope it resonated with a lot of you. And I hope to see you again here at the Field Beyond.